Hello people of the future and welcome to Let's Make a Trading Card Game. Now, first things first, what is this? This is a t-shirt with a Multiverse logo that I made. It's kind of a prototype for maybe a future merchandise, and I just wanted to have something to wear on my videos about Multiverse, so there you go. I have this now. Vasily is continuing to work on card art, and this time I asked him to draw the Toxic Planet, and this is what he originally sent me. The first thing that popped right out the gates is that it looked very depressing, even for a toxic planet. It's all grey and dark, so I asked him to maybe make the smoke a little more transparent and add some detail, because there isn't much detail, it's just smoke and bare ground. So I suggested to add some dead trees and a little bit of fog, so that there would be something to break up the dense smoke and to create a sense of depth. And this is what he sent me next. This is much better in my opinion. You have some detail and some aerial perspective. But this was supposed to represent the purple planet, and it's not really a purple image, so I don't know, it's not really that big of a deal that it's not purple, but I wanted to reflect the color of the card in the image, so I asked him to change the color to a more purple hue, and this is the final version, which I like a lot, and I'll be using this for the card. And Vasily started working on another planet, which is the mountainous planet, and he just joked that he would take the first image that he made here for the toxic planet and put it upside down. So let's turn it upside down, and it would become the mountainous planet. And he ended up doing that, and he's starting to work on the mountainous planet. This is not finished. He just showed me his process, which is interesting. That's pretty cool. I'm eager to see what the final product looks like. Meanwhile, if you've been watching my streams lately, you'll know that I've been working on the latest iteration of the base set that takes into account all of the changes I've made to the rules of Multiverse. I started by designing cards based on common space fantasy and science fiction tropes, so top-down design, and then started to fill in the gaps with the cards that follow the strategies of the 6 colors and the 15 two-color combinations of the 6 colors. I'm also trying to add many build-around-me cards at higher rarities that can sort of inspire people to build their own unique decks outside of the quote conventional strategies. It's actually a lot of work keeping everything in check, I have to say. Also, in previous test sessions, my friends and I, and also some of you subscribers, found that the game could start to stall and tends to degrade into a stalemate, especially in multiplayer games or mirror matches. Mirror match is a game where 2 players play with the same deck or very similar decks. And you never want your game to drag on for too long. A player getting bored is one of the worst things that can happen to your game. If 2 players play a game of Multiverse and they get bored midway through the game, they probably won't ever play again. If the game ends and the players are happy and satisfied, however, they still might not play again because they're happy and satisfied. There's a higher chance, but they might play like a week from then or a month from then, who knows. If the game ends a little before that, though, you leave them wanting more, and there's a good chance they'll play again and again and keep coming back for more. So I realized that this slow gameplay was caused by 2 problems mainly. First of all, the speed of the ships was generally on the low side. I used to have ships that cost 4 resource and had 1 speed, which was commonplace in the last version of the set. And if a ship costs 4 resource, you have to wait 2 turns to play it, because your plan produces 2 resource every turn. Plus you need a creature inside of it, so let's say that's another turn you wait. And if it has 1 speed, then you to traverse the entire galaxy and get to your opponent's home planet, it will take you another 4 turns. So 2 plus 1 plus 4, it's 7 turns. 7 turns to attack only once on your opponent's home planet. 7 turns is a long time. An average game should be almost over at that point. And of course, if your ship gets destroyed or something happens along the way, you get set back and the game goes even longer. So I decided to up the speed of ships across the board, and the average now that I'm putting here is that ships that cost 1 or 2 have generally 1 speed, ships that cost 3 or 4 have 2 speed, ships that cost 5 or 6 have 3 speed. And we'll see how this works in the next test session. Another thing that I realized is that I didn't have nearly as many big splashy effects that could turn a game in your favor if it turns into a stalemate and starts to drag on for too long. So when a game starts to drag, generally players tend to get massive amounts of resource on their planets because they're not playing much and the resource just keeps flowing and coming in. And I can make use of that and make cards that require a lot of resource to use and that have devastating effects, that can wipe the board clean of all the junk that's accumulated throughout the game so that it can end faster. I have to say though that having an alternative win condition helps out with this problem a bit, because you no longer have to destroy everything on your opponent's home planet in order to win, but still having a few more of these effects will help out to grindy games and keep the flow going. Another thing that I've changed is how shields work. So if a ship had shields 2 before, every time it was dealt damage, you would prevent 2 of that damage. Now, if a ship has shields 2, it means it comes with 2 shield counters into play. And every time it should be dealt damage, you prevent all of that damage and remove a shield counter from it. And once there are no more shield counters on it, it's dealt damage as normal. And I feel this is a more accurate representation of the science fiction shields that you see in movies, and also it leads to better gameplay, so that's a win-win. And lastly, with the last version of the set, I wasn't happy with the ships and other structures that had similar stats to creatures, or at least comparable stats. It just doesn't feel right that creatures can be stronger in many cases than steel spacecrafts. A structure should be able to take more hits than a person, right? You'd think. So I thought about it, and it makes sense in game as well. It doesn't unbalance anything, because if your strategy is to board ships with creatures, then your creatures don't get to fight the ships, they fight other creatures, and if your strategy is to attack with ships, then the creatures usually are inside of other structures, so you don't get to attack them directly, you attack other ships and other structures. So the two really don't cross paths often, at least not in regular decks. Now, figuring out how much stronger structures should be is another thing, and I haven't figured out that entirely yet, but I'm getting there. Anyway, I want to finish this new set soon and test it this weekend, hopefully, and I'll tell you how it goes. Also, since I changed the color identities and added 2 new colors, I started to work on the color symbols, and as it turns out, I hate most of these. I didn't put that much thought into the actual symbol inside of the circle. So I'm pretty happy with the green symbol and the red symbol, but I think that yellow, blue, purple and orange was supposed to be a fist representing labor. I'll have to change these. Yellow, I like it better when it was a scale, and yeah, blue I think needs to be an eye that represents knowledge and learning things. Purple right now has the symbol for radiation as their symbol, and I don't think that fits. I mean, it fits to a certain extent, but it's a really narrow aspect of what purple can do. And I think I should change it to a gas mask. And as for orange, a fist works, but maybe I'm thinking a fist holding a hammer or just a hammer. I'm trying to find an easy way to show labor, and I think a fist holding a hammer is pretty powerful of an image. So I'll continue working on creating cards, not live unfortunately, because it turns out that I'm way slower at making cards live while talking and interacting with other people. So I'll continue on by myself, and hopefully I'll finish this in time for Saturday, because I want to test the game by that point. And I'll continue working, and see you guys next time. And until then, keep it up. Wait, stop! I'm not done yet. I've got more stuff to show to you and to talk about. So Vasily, he finished the art for the mountainous planet, and actually he sent me 3 versions. This blue one, and this more brown one, and this lighter version of the brown one, which is my favorite. And I really don't have any problems with this art. I really like it. And you can still kind of see where the gas geysers were, but don't tell anyone. I really like this last variant. I like the colors. I didn't have any problems with the mountainous planet. And I think the next one in line should be the desert planet or the city planet. One of those two anyway. Also, I wanted to say another thing. Lately I've been a guest on a podcast with my good friend Connor Linning. He's a great guy and a great composer. We've worked on a project in the past, and we might be working on a project in the near future. I won't say anything just yet. Anyway, the podcast is called The Connorcast, or just Connorcast. We talk about game design, trading card games and music. It's not up on the internet yet, but it comes out tomorrow, so chances are that for you people of the future it's been out for a very long time already. So check it out if you're interested on connorlinning.com or on YouTube here at YouTube/ORTmusic. And if you like his stuff, subscribe to his channel and listen to his music. So anyway, I still have to finish making cards, and I'll see you guys next time, and until then, keep it up.